Hello International, nice to see you. I have a very interesting question on diminished chords.
Diminished triad might be referring to a half diminished seventh instead of a fully diminished seventh. Be careful, be nice, and explain the difference. Also, the diminished triad has 3 notes, while the fully diminished seventh has 4 notes.
Okay, there is something right and something wrong in this comment. Okay, whenever we talk about diminished, and by the way, I know that I'm Italian and I mispronounce this and I say diminish. But of course it's diminished. Okay, so sorry about the pronunciation. I may forget to say this last part. Okay, it's just not in my pronunciation. But diminished. When we use diminished and we refer about chords, there are 4 things we can mean, and it's important to know the difference so you know which one to play. So first of all, we have the diminished triad. Triad, as the name implies, has 3 notes, okay? So the diminished, and I'm gonna write D-I-M, okay, because I don't want to write the full word every time. Triad, okay. If I play a diminished triad with a root of B, I'll have the notes B, which is the root, D, which is the minor third, F, which is the diminished fifth. The diminished triad, so it will be B, D, and F. It's this. Okay, played a bit higher so people can hear it better. B, D, F. That's the triad, 3 notes. But then, that's not the only diminished chord you can have. You have the diminished seventh, also called the fully diminished chord. The fully diminished chord, or diminished seventh, contains also the diminished seventh of the chord, which is, in this case, an A flat. B, D, F, A flat. The A note will be the minor seventh. The diminished seventh is a half step below the minor seventh, so it's an A flat. So when you say a diminished seventh chord or fully diminished, we mean those 4 notes here. Now, playing those 4 notes in order on the guitar, it's quite hard because I don't have this. Well, I have this finger span, but I mean, why? Okay. So usually you just turn those notes around and you play it this way instead. Okay. Then we have the half diminish. Again, that's a full diminish, that's a half diminish. Sometimes this is also called the minor seventh flat 5. Now you guys know I made a video on the difference between these and that. I think there's a distinction, but it's not important right now. The notes are the same. The notes of those are B, D, F, and A, meaning the root, the minor third, the diminished fifth, and the minor seventh. Okay, and so that's the third entity. So we're gonna have those notes here. Again, they're not in the same order, so I could do B, D, F, A, and that's a half diminish, as opposed to the fully diminish. That's the difference, okay? And again, if I play them here, the difference is the A or A flat note I'm playing in there. But then there is another entity, which is the diminished chord. And here's where people get confused, because people use diminished chord to indicate this, or to indicate this. But that's the diminished seventh, and that's a diminished triad. The diminished chord is a different thing. A diminished chord is any of the above. It's not one specific chord, it's any one of those 3. That's a normal thing to do, okay? To say something chord and to indicate not one specific chord, but indicating a family of chords, okay? For instance, in jazz, whenever you say that there is a major chord, you can mean the major triad, so like, I don't know, C, E, G, like a C major, but you can mean the major triad with the 6th, so C, E, G, and A. You can mean the major triad with the major 7, so the major 7 chord, C, E, G, B, or you can mean the major 9 chord, the C, E, G, B, D, and so on and so forth, and many other. The idea is that when you just say major chord, not major triad, major chord, you are meaning any of that. It's left to the player to choose the one that sounds best to them, but all of them will be legit. The same happens for minor chords, the same happens for dominant chords. Those are families of chords, not one single chord, okay? And so the problem with the original comment that I'm answering today is that they were confusing diminished triad with diminished chord, okay? Which is an important thing to have. So now we've explained what are all those diminished chords, okay? Which one is the triad, which one is the fully diminished, which one is the half diminished, and what diminished chord actually mean. And you can go back to the original video and see the rest of the video. Thank you very much. This is Tommaso Zilli of musicallyforguitar.com. And until next time, enjoy.